Daf Kuftes Vav Amud Aleph will begin at Daf Kuf Yudalet Amud Beis, 5 lines from the bottom. Continuing on with the discussion whether if a person has a vegetable that he's going to be eating for karpas, that's also a vegetable that you can be yotzei more with, how does he make the brachas? So the Gemara says, Pshitas Pasha that Heichadi Kashar Yerokis. If a person has other vegetables that are not vegetables that you could be yotzei the mitzvah more with. So therefore, what he does is he makes for the karpas, he eats the other vegetables, he makes an adoma of them, and he eats them. He makes an adoma like for any time he eats a yarek, a vegetable, he makes an adoma and he eats it. And afterwards, when he has the eating it with the matzah later on, when he's eating the mar after the matzah, he makes on that mar, he makes the bracha of al achilas mar. He doesn't make the bracha bari pri adama on that. He made the bracha bari pri adama on the karpas, according to the Rashbam, and therefore he has that bari pri adama. He's yotzei with that, with the mar that he's going to eat later. That bari pri adama that he made on the karpas also is a bracha for the more that he eats later on the Suda. According to Tosfos, that's not the case because there's a hafsek in the middle, there's a hafsek of the Seder. But Tosfos learns that more is part of the Suda. He's eating it after he already washed, he ate the matzah, he's eating it part of the Suda. And furthermore, it's a chiyuv to eat it over there, so it's part of the Suda. And therefore, he does not have to make a bari pri adama. He does not make a bari pri adama on that mar. So he makes the bari pri adama on the karpas, and he makes an achilas mar on the mar that he has in the Suda. But if he only has chas, he only has lettuce, so therefore he only has a vegetable that's suitable for mar. So therefore the first achila that he's eating, the achila of the karpas, it's also a vegetable that you're yotzei mar with. So what's the din? How does he make the brachas? Rav Huna says, Mevorach mikara amor bari pri adama v'achil. He says by the karpas you make a bari pri adama and you eat it. L'v'sayif mevorach aleha al achilas mar v'achil. So Rav Huna says mitzvah srichas kavan. So therefore the first achila that he ate, the lettuce that he ate, was for the mitzvah of karpas, was for the purpose of karpas rather. And therefore, it's not for the mitzvah of morer. Therefore, he's not yotzei the mitzvah of morer with that. It's an eating of a vegetable. It's done for the purpose of karpas, for the tinoikus that they should ask. And therefore, he makes an adama on that. He's not yotzei the mitzvah of morer with it. And then when he eats some more in the Suda, he makes a chilas morer. How can you say that that's the order, that's the seder that he does? He's already filled himself with more. So meaning, the way the Chedush Haran explains it, meaning, if you say mitzvah sricha, ein mitzvah ein srichas kavana, then he's already filled himself with more. If mitzvah ein srichas kavana, he's yotzei already. How can he make a bracha of achilas more later? And even if you hold the mitzvah ein srichas kavana, so he wasn't yotzei the mitzvah more, but it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate to fill himself with more and only later make the bracha of achilas more to be yotzei the mitzvah. So therefore, Elamar Rav Chisda says, "Mikarma b'rachla b'rei pri adama v'al achilas mar v'achil." On the first eating that he eats at the time of the karpas, he should eat it for the mitzvah of mar. He should make a bari pri adama and achilas mar, be yotzei the mitzvah of mar. And during the Suda, in the middle of the Suda, he should eat it without a bracha. Meaning, and the second achila will be the achila kadeshi shelo hatinaikas, that the children should ask, why are we eating it again? Besurav the Rav Huna, in Surah they held like Rav Huna, Rasheshus Berei Rav Yeshua Av Rav Chisda, he held like Rav Chisda. The Hilchsa Kavas Rav Chisda. The halacha is like Rav Chisda. The halacha is like Rav Chisda, that the achilas more is on the first achila. But Ravach Breda Rav Mahadra Shar Yerokas La Fuke Nafshim Plukta, he would search for other vegetables not to get involved with the machlekes over it, so he would make sure that for karpas he had different types of vegetables. He did not have the type of yerek that you yoitz the mitzvah more with, and a more he had the chasa, which is how we are noig. And for karpas we have other types of vegetables. Common minig is to have, for instance, potatoes for karpas, which you cannot be yoitz moror with a potato, and for moror we have either lettuce or horseradish, etc. Amar Ravina, Amar Li Ram Shash Bereid Ran Olson, Halchi Amar Hil Mishmei the Gemara. This is what Hil the Amira said. Mishmei the Gemara. He said he had a Kabbalah. Loid Nichrach Inish Matzah Mor B'Harei Atar V'Nechal. He should not wrap together matzah and mora and eat it together. He should not eat them all together. Why? Mishum desirlon a matzah b'zman hazeh deraisa. Because nowadays b'zman hazeh, when we don't have a korban pesach, the mitzvah of matzah nevertheless is deraisa. But however, umara derabbanan, the matzah b'zman hazeh is deraisa. Umara is a derabbanan. It's only derabbanan, and therefore v'asim mara derabbanan mevata leila matzah deraisa. If he eats it together, so from the perspective of the deraisa perspective, there's no mitzvah. The moror is not a mitzvah. So he's eating something with a mitzvah together with something with a non-mitzvah. The eating it together is mevatel the mitzvah. It nullifies to a certain extent, so to speak, the mitzvah of the deraisa mitzvah. To the mitzvah, the deraisa mitzvah has to be eaten on its own. It has to be eaten exclusively, not with other eatings of a non-mitzvah. So therefore, from the perspective of the Torah in the deraisa, b'zman hazeh, there's no mitzvah of mora. So therefore, it's eating a achilas mitzvah with a non-mitzvah. It's mevatel it. So because nowadays matzah is a deraisa and mora, where we don't have the korban pesach, is a rabbanan. Now, even according to the Mandam, it says we don't say this principle of bittul that the mevatel zu hanimil the raisa but the raisa the rabbanan. That's only if they're on the same plane, on equal footing. The raisa with the raisa is not mevatel, or the rabbanan with the rabbanan is not mevatel. Avo the raisa with the rabbanan, but if one is the raisa, one is the rabbanan, we say asi the rabbanan mevatel the raisa. The rabbanan will be mevatel the raisa. So therefore, he said you should not eat it together. You should not wrap it in a sandwich and eat it together. B'zman hazeh. Who's the Tana that holds that mitzvahs are not mevatel zu? Who is that Tana? Hil here. The Tana is Hil. The Tanya we learned Amrul al Hil. They said al Hillel shohaya karchan b'vasachas v'aychlan. He at the time of the Beis Hamikdash, when there was a korban pesach, he would wrap it together. The meat, the basar, the moror, wrapped together with the matzah, and he would eat it together. Shenemer al matzos moroim yachlu. It says that you eat it together. The korban pesach al matzos moroim yachlu. You should eat it all together. It might seem a little unusual that you would wrap it together, and nowadays our matzah is hard, you can't wrap it, but in earlier times the matzah was not the way we have matzah. It was made as a bread, as an unleavened bread, but it was not baked as a hard, like a matzah that we have like a cracker nowadays. And so we wrapped it together because al matzah is more yochlu. The other Tanoim, they argued on Hil. They said that you should not wrap it together. The Tanya we learned in the Brisa, because we see this from the Brisa, because it says and you might think that you should wrap them together, the matzah, the Pesach and the Morah together, and eat it like Hil said. Talmud Leimar, the pasuk says, Al matzais amro yochluhu. It says yochlu. Now, of course, it says yochlu. It says yochluhu. Avil zeb ifnei atzma, v'zeb ifnei atzma. So it says it yochlu it. even this one on its own and that on its own. So the Braisa's understanding, the Gemara's understanding the Braisa at this point to mean to say that each one must be, the emphasis yoichlu it has to be eaten each one on its own. Each one on its own, not together. Masif Ravashi, how can you say that's what the Braisa means? My afilu. What do you mean to say even? That even this each one on its own. So according to you, it's dafka, not even on its own. It's only on its own. Ella Maravashi says, Haitana Haklikatana, this is what it means. You might think you're not Yetze the Chayva. Ella Imkain Karchan Bavasa Chasvalchan Kederach Hilal Oichlon. You might think that you can be Yetze only if you wrap it together. It must be wrapped together, like Hillel says, Talmud Leimer Almasa Samram Yachluhu. Even each one on its own. It doesn't have to be wrapped together. It could be done each one separately. But from this brisa, you don't see that they argue on Hill, because from this brisa, the mashmoi says that you could be yaitza together. It's just saying that you could also be yaitza separately. So you don't see from this brisa not like Hill. Pasuk Gemara says, now that halacha has not been established like Hill or the Rabbanan, must you wrap it together or you don't wrap it together? Therefore, we say, Mevorach al achilas matzah. First, you should make the bracha al achilas matzah and eat the matzah. Then, Mevorach al achilas mora v'ochel. And then separately, you should make a bracha al achilas mora and eat the mora. And then after all that, and then he should wrap it together, which is the way we are knowing nowadays. You eat the matzah separately, the mar separately, and then you wrap it together, zecher lemikdash kehilel, that in the Beis Hamikdash, Hillel held that they should be wrapped together with the Korban Pesach and eaten all three together.